Pero coño.
And also, I saw like I have a Duolingo app, but then for the long time I didn't play it. And then his icon on the app keep changing it to like kind of like dead face. Cause I never showed up. Yeah, I really like that details though. I really like it. I really like it. アプリの顔がどんどん変わってくんだよ。最初なんか怒っててだんだん元気なくなって最後死んだみたいな感じになっちゃうんだよ。Yeah, literally it's a Tamagotchi. But it's a Duolingo. Yeah. ね、そうそう。Mine doesn't change. Mine did it. Right now it's not really, but at one time I saw it changed it. いや。ね、確かにたまごっちに似てるかもしれない。ね、いや。I can't believe Tamagotchi is super popular overseas too. たまごっち海外でもめっちゃ人気なんだって。ね。いや。It was popular in the 2000s? そうなんだ。なんか 3DS だったかな ?3DS だっけかなのなんかゲームとかで遊んだ覚える。I remember, I think it was 3DS, I think? But yeah, I was like there's like a Puchi Puchi Omise Tamagotchi or something like that. And I played with that one. Yeah, I think it was 3DS. And then you do the business in the store was Tamagotchi. You can do like a gas station, a burger shop, and stuff like that. なんかね、お店を経営するなんかたまごっちのゲームで、ガソスタ経営できたり、なんかハンバーガーショップできたり、そういろいろあって、それやったことある。I played that one. That sounds chill. It was! ね。Yeah, I like that a lot. ね、それやってた。Yep. ね、そうなの。I remember uploading my Tamagotchi to the main website and then getting coins for it. What the heck? You could do that? What the heck? That's so cool! たまごっち自体、3DS とかのゲームやったけど、たまごっちは多分やったことないかも。あ、そう、もう来ないからねって言われつ。もう来な。I don't remember. I played Tamagotchi with game, but I never really played like real Tamagotchi. I don't think so. 時間設定間違えて夜中にお腹すいたってピーピー起こされた思い出。クソ迷惑や。自分で食えみたいなね。Oh my god, if you messed up the time, they're gonna wake you up in the middle of the night saying, I'm hungry, like that. My gosh, go get something by yourself! そうなんだ。Wait, they're gonna call you? 呼ばれんのたまごっちって。たまごっちで呼ぶの Wait, たまごっち gonna call you? To take care of them? My gosh. ガチで草。Oh yeah. Oh my god, it is! Yeah. It's like having a real life cat. Really? Thank you for 5 months! Welcome back だよ。リアルタイムで飼育しないといけないらしいね。あ、そうなんだ。なんかポケモンみたいな感じかと思ってた。結構違うんだ。Oh, I kinda imagine it's kinda like a Pokemon, but I think it's a lot different then. ね。ポケモンみたいな感じ。掃除してとか教えてなってくる。掃除してとかなって教えてくれる。そうなんだ。自分で片付けれないの、たまごっち。自分でやれんだね。Thank you for Prime! Welcome back! Yeah. Wow, that's cool though. That's cool. ね。ママニャもね、なんかたまごっち知ってたもん。たまごっち持ってたって言ってた気がする。I think my mamanya even said like she had a Tamagotchi. Yeah. ね、たまごっち知ってるみたいな感じに言ってたもん。Yeah, she was talking about it. Yeah. So I guess it's like very long. ね。結構長いんだね、たまごっちそう考えると。It's a popular because they were also cheap with a lot of different styles. Yeah, I kind of want to see it. おはよう来てくれてありがとう。今、たまごっちの話してました。ヘニャ、ゲームでしか遊んだことなくて、たまごっち。Hold on, hold on. たまごっち。たまごっちや。へえ、my my. これかたまごっち。Oh wait, there's a history of Tamagotchi. Maybe we can watch this one. Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi って歌ったよね。There's a song about Tamagotchi. Go Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi. Oh, here it is. I found it. Tamagotchi. No.
First exploding in the 90s, it's recently seen a bit of a resurgence due to 90s kids now being hungry for trinkets bringing back the childhood nostalgia. Bandai, the company behind the Tamagotchi, are well aware of this and have started reprinting the original devices specifically to cater to this audience. However, the brand actually goes way further than these original keychain devices, and there's a whole new generation of Tamagotchi lovers out there. So join me as we celebrate the legacy of these amazing virtual pets, because this is the history of Tamagotchi.
Oh my god! If they're a virtual pet, does that mean they're like ancestor of VTubers? 待って、VTuber の祖先ってこと？ Kinda, maybe, yeah! Is it ancestor of VTuber?
Like many of our childhood favourite trends, Tamagotchi was born in Japan. Akihiro Yokoi was a toy manufacturing executive at a small company called Wizco, and supposedly came across an advert involving a boy who wasn't allowed to bring his pet turtle on holiday. Exactly what this advert was for is unknown, but
oh my gosh! It's kind of small! 結構ちっちゃいね。こんなちっちゃいんだ。Kind of looks small, isn't it? 待って、なんかいる。Oh my god, it's a dots! Dots だよ。ドットなのか？ It's kind of like a Game Boy, maybe? Kinda? ゲームボーイみたいな感じってこと？ Maybe? ねえ。シャードリー Thank you for 5 gifted subs! ありがとう Thank you! Holy crap, thank you so much for that line! ありがとう Thank you! ありがとうだよ Thank you so much for that line! ありがとう Thank you! 電池2つなんだ。ボタン電池なんだ。まめに育てて良い子にしよう Take care of it and make it a good kid. たまごち。
But the important detail is that Yokoi was inspired to create a pet that you could take anywhere you wanted, regardless of what your parents might say. The issue was working out how to make a portable virtual pet that was not only fun, but also cost efficient. At this point, it was 1996, and the Game Boy had cemented itself as the most popular portable video game console ever made. But it was quite expensive, costing $90 on its release in 1989, with later revisions.
ちょっと待って、コマーシャルさ、キャラ濃すぎ。What is this commercial? Hold on. Why this commercial has a what?
Such as the Game Boy Pocket being a bit cheaper, costing $50 in 1997. But Yokoi wanted his creation to cost even less than that. The idea was that practically anybody would be able to get their hands on these, but in order to do that, he had several hurdles. First, he needed to somehow make the devices incredibly cheaply.
Oh my god, they have a lot of design? Wait, is it case?
Second,
デザインが違うんだ。
First, he needed to
これケースとかで買えれんの？ So do they have like a removable case that you can change it or something? ケースとかで変えれるのここはスマホみたいに like a smartphone? Wait, no? I don't think so. そうなんだ。They have a lot of design. Oh, you can change it. What you saw was what you got. Oh, so you picked the design of what you like?
To somehow make the devices incredibly cheaply, and second, he needed to be able to make them on such a massive scale that he could keep up with the potential demand from customers.
What the fuck is this? 何これ?
The solution to this problem
What's that?
Scale that he could keep up with the potential demand from
何これ? What is that? What is that?
Customers. The solution to this problem actually mimics exactly what Gunpei Yokoi had previously achieved with Nintendo's Game & Watch devices, which we covered in the last History of video. Despite this strange coincidence, and the fact that Gunpei Yokoi and Akihiro Yokoi share their last names, they aren't actually related, so maybe it's just that everyone with the name Yokoi has the potential to be an amazing hardware designer. Either way, the decision was made to create these virtual pet devices using extremely cheap components that were considered massively outdated, but repurpose them into something new, bringing down the cost to mass manufacture and the price for consumers too. As such, the first Tamagotchi designs would use a black and white LCD screen, small batteries, and minimal buttons. However, what Yokoi needed to bring his idea to fruition was a company with a lot of money and that was willing to take a risk. This company also needed to have a hell of a lot of marketing power, lots of hardware manufacturing processes, and a global reach. Aki Maito was a member of Bandai's marketing team and was concerned that they were falling behind with the American market. After getting wind of Akihiro Yokoi's concept, the duo teamed up and initially had a hard time getting Bandai on board. After some convincing by conducting surveys with groups of high school girls and seeing the positive response from these test audiences though, they finally were given the go-ahead to enter development. It was around this time that the name Tamagotchi was given to these virtual pets, with the name coming from the words Tamago and Uochi, which translates loosely to egg watch. The original concept for the devices looked a bit like watches that
I saw this in a Angry Video Game Nerd.
you would wear on your wrist, which is where the Tamagotchi name stemmed from, but this design was later reworked into a keychain, which of course is the design we're all familiar with today. The characters featured in the Tamagotchi devices were created by the design team at Bandai, and the gameplay was also handled by Bandai, with the main feature being the passage of real-world time affecting the creature. The device would beep whenever the creature inside of it needed attention, and you would then have to cater to its needs, cleaning it, feeding it, and otherwise interacting with it, and then the sense of reward comes from the way that the creature will change appearance and develop personality.
Okay, there's a first one is baby chi, because this is Tamagotchi, right? So they adapt the end of the word chi to every stages, and then first one is a baby chi, and a kid chi, kid chi, 子供chi, and then adult chi, adult chi. マジで臭い.
Traits based on how attentive or inattentive you are. Of course, one of the most infamous elements of the gameplay is the fact that your Tamagotchi will die if you leave it alone for too long. In Center
What the heck? They'll die? What the? Oh my god, you gotta be responsible. マジかよ、死ぬんだ。責任重大やんけ。Oh my god, that's a huge responsible. 葬式まであった。Wait, they had a funeral? Oh my god. 学校から帰ってきたら死んでる。Usually after you came back from school, they're dead. responsibility,
Advising
though.
you to
What
keep coming
the
back to
fuck?
take care of your pet to avoid this happening. The Japanese version of the Tamagotchi devices were a little bit less subtle with its death sequences, showing a tombstone on the screen as opposed to the slightly happier tone in the Western versions, which show your Tamagotchi turning into an angel.
Tamagotchi.
This led to a little bit of a moral panic among certain groups, stating that the kids were bursting into tears and showing signs of depression upon the virtual pet dying. In order to avoid this tragic
Oh, they're attached. Oh, やば、めっちゃ悲しんじゃったんだ。Oh.
fate, kids would bring the devices to school and inevitably become distracted by them, likely causing Tamagotchis to get banned across a lot of schools in the country.
Okay, now I feel like I'm a piece of shit by hearing that Tamagotchi will be dead, and I was like, what? Like that. And then, wow, the kids were really sad about it. I'm such a piece of shit. I was laughing. You laugh at my pain! I am! Sorry, I'm a piece of shit, dayo!
While kids were obviously trying to look after the pets as much as possible, in the original Tamagotchi devices, death was actually an inevitable part of the gameplay loop. It was impossible to keep your critter alive forever, and even with perfect care, it would eventually pass away due to old age.
What? So they have a lifetime, so they'll be dead? で、結局大事に育てても死んじゃうの。マジでペットだね。What the heck? That's sad. I think it's kind of good for kids, like learning, taking care and responsibility, I guess. ね。病死もあるし、寿命もある。でもあれだね、なんかさ、それぐらいの年の人にとってはさ、結構あれじゃない？なんかね、子供にとってはさ、なんかそういう大事にするとかね、最後まで責任を持たないと死んじゃうっていうなんか、ね、あれめちゃくちゃいいんじゃない？
Tamagotchi, the only toy guaranteed to traumatize your child. Buy it today. The genius of Tamagotchi is that it's a game which literally forces constant interaction. You're obviously gonna want your creature to like you and turn out the best it can be, and of course you definitely want to avoid the looming threat of death at all costs. And the only way to do that is to constantly interact with it. It becomes a part of your everyday life, and as such, it would become pretty addictive. It's
Wait,
like—
hang on. So what can you do with Tamagotchi though? I saw a meal, so which is feeding, giving them snack. What else? ミールとスナックってあったから、もうご飯とお菓子があげれるんでしょ？あと何ができるの？たまごっちと。Poop? Cleaning? Play some minigame? Oh, they had a minigame? デジモンなんかバトルで負けたら死ぬからね。やば！重すぎるマジで。そうなんだ。Play with them, clean their poop? Ah, so it's really like taking care of them. ミニゲームとかあるんだ。
Like Animal Crossing on steroids. Not only is the gameplay enticing though, but the fact that the devices were comparatively cheap and came in multiple differently designed shells added in a collectible element too. If you were invested in Tamagotchi, the
画面がクソで埋め尽くされるんじゃなかったっけ？え、そうなの？ほっとくといっぱい。Wait, so if you don't clean their like poop, the screen is gonna be full of poop? Really? Ew! Really? Oh my gosh!
odds are you probably ended up buying more than one just so you could mix up the designs and maybe even raise multiple
Oh my
different
god, that one is so
creatures.
cute! これめっちゃ可愛い! Oh my god, it's colored! え、カラーじゃん、カラー! Oh my god, it's
all at
colored!
once. Needless to say, Tamagotchi was a success. 6 months after releasing in Japan, it had sold over 5 million units, with the main audience being young girls, which early marketing targeted quite heavily. The release in America was similarly successful, releasing a year later in 1997 with worldwide sales exceeding $70 million just a few months later. While Tamagotchi would remain popular throughout the 90s, it would never quite reach these astronomical numbers again, which is probably partially due to a lot of somewhat similar competition releasing soon after. In 1990,
なんかヘニャたちもね、たまごっちは 3DS とかゲームとかあったけど、たまごっち自体は誰も持ってなかったような気がする。ゲームはあったけどね。Yeah, I feel like my time we had a game like 3DS and stuff like that, but we never really played like actual Tamagotchi though. I've never seen my friend has a Tamagotchi though, I guess. Yeah, and also Pokemon was like taking over though. あとね、あれだね、ポケモンがね、ポケモン一色でしたね、ヘイの時は。My time it was like Pokemon, just Pokemon. Yeah. Nintendo, Mario Kart, Nintendo, Animal Crossing, ドーマリとか、マリカとか、もう本当に、Nintendo, Smash Bros. 2. Yeah. It was like Nintendo.
the world was introduced to the
How about
Furby,
Digimon? I'm
and
not
while
really
this was
familiar with
less of a video
Digimon.
game and
I think
more of a
that's like
straight-up toy, it did feature similar
it's not
design
around my
elements,
time
with the
was
aspects of
popular.
interactivity and raising your pet creature, just like we saw with the Tamagotchi. But we're not done with the legacy of the Tamagotchi just yet, because it turns out that these little devices also served as the inspiration for another massive franchise. Remember how Tamagotchi was primarily marketed towards girls, especially in the earlier promotional material? This led to Bandai spotting a pretty obvious gap in the market and creating a similar line of toys that would appeal more to boys, which culminated in an entire new franchise. And what would this new series turn out to be? None other than Digimon.
Oh, wait, this is Digimon?
Challenge another Digimon.
これなんだ
And if you touch your monster once, he'll be victorious.
That's right,
Yeah!
Digimon started out as something of a Tamagotchi spin-off, but separated itself by featuring combat mechanics and even allowing you to connect two devices to battle other Digimon owners. The original Digimon devices were popular, but had nowhere near the same level of success as Tamagotchi did. However, Digimon proved significantly more successful with the multimedia efforts, spawning an incredibly popular TV series, which is still ongoing to this very day. Loads of films, console video games, manga, a trading card game, and countless other merchandise.
Wow.
But while Digimon was exploding onto the scene, what exactly happened to Tamagotchi? Well, various new models were released through the years, all featuring new gimmicks to keep the gameplay loop fresh. One of the most prominent new models was the Tamagotchi Connection, released in 2004, and this allowed players to exchange gifts, play games together, and even have Tamagotchi babies. Great, even more responsibility. We've been getting new Tamagotchi models as recently as 2021, which is when Tamagotchi Pix released. This one has a full colour screen and even has a camera to take pictures for your Tamagotchi to interact with. There's actually been a recent resurgence in the popularity of Tamagotchi, most likely spurred on by a few factors, one of which being that Bandai re-released the original version of the Tamagotchi in 2017, which proved pretty successful at the time, but really took off during the pandemic when nobody had anything better to do but to get reinvested in looking after a virtual pet from the 90s.
Oh my god, that's
Then
so
we also had
cute.
the newest version of Tamagotchi release earlier this year with Tamagotchi Uni, which actually brings things back full circle, with this variant offering a watch strap to attach to your wrist,
Wait,
just
so
like
cute.
Akihiro Yokoi originally wanted. Tamagotchi Uni can even connect to the internet and access something called the Tamaverse, where you can play games with other people, go on dates, go on a tour, or even get fashion advice.
Oh my
It's just
gosh,
like real
wow.
life. When a Tamagotchi approaches adulthood in this version, it will ask if it can move out and see the world for itself, and if you say yes, it'll leave nothing more than an egg behind. Jeez,
Oh, so like they're not gonna be dead anymore. They're just gonna leave their house and leave the egg behind. あ、なるほど、死ななくなったんだ。家を出る形になったんだ。
Tamagotchi really like tugging on your heartstrings. Of course though, the story of Tamagotchi doesn't really end there. The legacy of the devices is absolutely undeniable, which is proved by how they're still alive and kicking today. However, with this consistent popularity comes a lot of imitators. One of the craziest Tamagotchi-inspired devices actually came from Nintendo, who brought out Pokemon Pikachu in 1998.
Wait,
to the
Pikachu
game's credit, this
Tamagotchi?
worked quite dramatically differently from Tamagotchi.
Wait, that kind of looks like Game Boy.
Not requiring
Game Boy
constant care,
みたい。
but instead interacting with you based on how many steps you take using
Pokemon Pikachu.
the built-in pedometer. This device eventually led to the creation of the Pokewalker, which was bundled with Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and allowed you to gain experience points by walking around. This was actually considered one of the most accurate pedometers available at the time, and the technology was later repurposed for
Wait a minute. They didn't have that. Wait, didn't they have this kind of stuff with a Pokemon Go as well? Pokemon Go でもあったよね、こういうの。あったよね。
fit you. The whole walking around to interact with your Pokemon concept was probably the inspiration for Pokemon Go too. So if you trace everything back, it all leads to Tamagotchi. Funnily enough, in 2019, there would be an official collaboration between Tamagotchi and Pokemon with the release of the EVX Tamagotchi device. So clearly, there's no bad blood between the two companies. But while Pokemon Pikachu can't really be considered a straight-up knockoff, the same can't really be said for other popular devices, such as the Tiger Electronics Gigapets line and the Nano Pet, which was created by Playmates. I guess the difference with these devices is that they mostly consisted of real-world animals to look after, rather than the otherworldly Tamagotchi creatures. But even so, the similarities are undeniable. Gigapets even tried to copy the success of Digimon with their Nano Fighter variants, but clearly it didn't quite work out all that well for them. But while all of these pretenders to the throne are long forgotten, the true champion of the virtual pet remains strong, and Tamagotchi is still king. You can't help though but analyse the Tamagotchi craze as a sort of forebearer to today's society. Just as we used to be locked to our Tamagotchi devices, tending to its every beep and boop, are we now doing the exact same thing but with our constantly online mobile devices? Instead of a digital creature to nourish, maybe it's our own online personas we're catering to, feeding its social engagement with our status updates and holiday snaps, which gives us validation through likes and follows, in the same way our Tamagotchi would tell us it's happy and content. Did Tamagotchi predict our technology-obsessed future, or was it a means to ease us into our always online way of life? But that is the history of Tamagotchi. Definitely give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and drop
かわいい。ちょっとやってみたくなった。I kinda wanna try it. That's so cute. Thank you for Prime! Thank you だよ。Thank you. ありがとう。Thank you, thank you! Welcome, welcome.
たまごっちの開発者は、イグ・ノーベル賞の経済学賞も受賞しているよ。理由は、数百万人の時間を仮想ペットの世話に転換したため。
イグ・ノーベル賞ってさ、ノーベル賞と何が違うんだっけ？ Hold on. イグ・ノーベルは人々を笑わせて同時に考えさせれる研究なのね。なるほど。Okay, so the TTS said, the developer of the Tamagotchi also won the Ig Nobel Prize for the economics because he convinced millions of people's time into carrying the virtual pets. That's so cool though. That's so cool. Arigato! Weirdos around the corner! Arigato! Thank you for 10 gift pistols! What the heck? Thank you! Arigato da yo! Thank you so much for a lot! Thank you so much for a lot! Arigato! You're not a weirdo, you're Giga-chan! Giga-chan around the corner! Arigato! Thank you! Arigato da yo! Thank you for a lot! Thank you! Arigato ne! Thank you! Wait, that's so funny. They got an Ig Nobel Prize for the... He can invest 1,000,000 people's time into carrying the virtual pets. True! ね、なるほどね。確かに確かに。That's so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. いいな、いいな。Yeah, but it looks really fun. I kind of want to try it now. It looks really fun. いいな、めちゃくちゃ楽しそう、めちゃくちゃ楽しそう。It was cute. Froggy loves it, right? フロギーが確かね、めっちゃ好きなんだって、たまごっち。I think Froggy really likes Tamagotchi. Yeah, 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 yeah. ねえ、そうなの、そうなの。Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, too bad I haven't tried it my time. Yeah, it looks really cute. I kind of want to try it though. I kind of want to try it. そんなのあるんだね。なるほどね、なるほどね。But yeah, 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 yeah. Yup, yup, yup. Yup, yup, yup. Are you going to find a Chiikawa Tamagotchi? I have to ask my mom to take care of my Tamagotchi Chiikawa. When I am like on streaming. Mom, can you take care of my Tamagotchi? I'm streaming! ね。いやいやいやいや。That's so cool. へえ、こんなんだ。すごいね。That is cool. That is cool. Okay, then next one. Next one, next one. Next one, next one だよ。Next one, next one. チーカーと一緒ってなったよ。チーカーのあるんだ。やべえ。じゃあ配信時間の時ママーニにお世話してもらわなきゃ。ママーニお願い。Take care of my Tamagotchi, please. ねえ、いやいやいや。うわ、いいな。Okay, next one, next one, next one. Next one, next one, next one. ドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドンドン。